What do you do in those really difficult situations when somebody on the other end of the phone or right in front of you is really heated and you're feeling that answering tension, anger, fear, defensiveness in yourself? So there's lots of people out there who are communication experts, and I always try to approach this centrally from voice, and that often means approaching it from a psychophysical perspective. So what's happening in my body? The other day, I've had a few conversations lately that have been very intense, and one was on the phone. And while I wasn't being shouted at as such, the volume, it wasn't the volume, it was the energy. There was rapid fire. There was a bit of what I would term as a rant happening, because somebody was very, very exercised and was not happy with the choice I'd made. And I really wanted to stay grounded. That was my prime directive, was both to stay grounded, to be effective, and to be authentic in how I used my voice. And of course, this takes a lot of practice. So I held the phone away from myself and I went while listening. And then what came out of me when I responded was a very grounded response. And I found myself saying things like, I'm curious about, I notice that. Well, this is interesting because it seems to me you have two ways of viewing this here. At the same time, I also spoke my truth, and I noticed that I always have this performer's voice, not voice, but observing eye so much, just where I can kind of see what I'm doing, even while I'm really in the moment. I noticed that I was using very emphatic emphasis while I was grounded. I was really clear about what I was saying. And this is really quite new for me, to feel a sense of mastery and flow in the moment in difficult situations. So if you're not there yet, do not be discouraged. A lot of this has come for me over this year of pandemic and over this period of showing up on video in front of people. It's been incredible for me. The great benefit for me of being a voice coach is that I'm on that journey too, as I have to be challenged in how do I express the things I believe in? How do I help other people do this? It teaches me as well, because I'm having to have deep thinking around it and noticing of myself in those moments. So I would encourage you to think about, what voices do you have within you? For me, I've got the voice of the daughter, the voice of the mother, the voice of the partner, coach. And which voices do you feel are really empowered? And if you have some voices that are grounded and empowered within you in certain situations, and there's other times when your other voices, shall we say, are less so, think about applying what you do in those empowered situations into the areas where you feel less empowered, and practice it. I'm an only child, and my mother was an only child, and I learned from her, or perhaps just by being an only child, to talk to myself. So as a child, I always talked to myself. So I don't feel self-conscious just role-playing something on my own in my room. And sometimes my family will come upon me in this state, as I did with my mother when I was a child. She'd be muttering away to herself. So try that out. Practice. Here's to unlocking your performance power.